Good Sunday morning. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. Here is the latest on Milton. Currently still a tropical storm. Just after the 6 a.m. hour, we saw winds at 50 miles an hour. The latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center at 7 a.m. is now showing 60 mile an hour winds. So that's a good sign that this storm is strengthening, and it's moving east at 5 miles an hour. Pressure's at 991 millibars. We're able to see that center of that low pressure system becoming more pronounced in the coming hours. And as we look at where this storm is located, fairly close, not too far away from Brownsville, just to the southeast, 281 miles. But folks in Texas not really expecting impacts from this storm. The latest forecast track showing this strengthening it to a Category 1 hurricane by maybe tomorrow on Monday. And eventually, as it moves over the Gulf of Mexico, we're going to see it strengthen to a Cat 2, eventually Cat 3, a major hurricane heading towards the western Florida coast. This is going to be the second time in the past 2 weeks that Florida has been enduring a major hurricane. So those storm surge threats are going to be at play, especially for the Tampa area, and also going to bring a lot of rain to the Florida peninsula. So looking at the model plots, we are certain that this is heading towards Florida. However, there is still a degree of uncertainty on how far north and south that landfall is going to take, whether it's north of Tampa or south of Tampa. But just keep in mind that Helene made impact in the Florida Big Bend region. So we're expecting more of an impact to land just south of there. And folks in Tampa, we're dealing with that storm surge damage already. So they're going to be bracing for another potential storm surge event as this storm is going to continue tracking across the Gulf of Mexico. So for us here across Texas, we are going to have this approaching cold front that's going to keep this system south and steer it in the direction towards Florida. So we're going to be high and dry here across southeast Texas, but ultimately we are going to see that continue its track off towards the east, dropping potential 9 to 10 inches of rain across Florida, even 6.7 inches of rain forecasted for Orlando. So if you have any plans to go to Disney World in the coming week, just keep in mind that they're going to deal with lots of rainfall across the Florida peninsula in the coming days. And looking at the future track wind, looking likely that Tampa could get some direct impacts for these hurricane force winds. So there is indirect impacts for us here across southeast Texas. Milton is going to churn up the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico usually acts like a bathtub during these hurricanes. So we're going to see high rip current risk all over our coastal beaches from Bolivar Peninsula, including Galveston, Surfside Beach, Brazosport, even Palacios, south of Brazosport by this week, lasting at least to the middle of the week. So we are still tracking more named storms out in the Atlantic Basin. We have Milton, which is a tropical storm. We have Hurricane Kirk, which is a Category 2 hurricane. Hurricane Leslie down in the South Atlantic Ocean that is expected to remain over open water. So we've already crossed off Milton from the list. The next name is Nadine as we go into the rest of our hurricane season. So it's going to be interesting if we're going to make it to the rest of these names. And as a reminder, hurricane season lasts until November 30th and begins once again on June 1st of 2025. And as always, you can find the latest tropics update on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app.